All right, Tent, kind of just tell me what this experience today has been like for you.
Been fantastic. Good, really. Hard to explain.
Obviously, the send off from Fort Wayne was fantastic. The arrival in Washington was great. And then you get here and your family surprises you.
Yeah.
What is that like?
Something different. It's good. Too bad they all couldn't have come. Uh-oh, they're coming after me.
Just again, to ask you a question I already did, but just kind of tell me what the surprise was like to have your sons and grandson here to greet you in Washington, D.C.
Well, glad to see them. I thought one of them was coming. He called me and told me, the one from Colorado, that he couldn't make it. These guys all showed up. But yeah, we was walking around over there, and here they come up and grabbed it. I didn't know who it was. But it was nice, really.
Tell me a little bit about your service. I know it was pretty extraordinary, some of the things you had to see and do.
Yeah, well, I went in the Army when I got out of high school. 2 weeks after I got out, I got noticed to take my physical. I ended up down in Camp Croft, South Carolina for basic. They cut it short on account of they needed replacements over in Europe. So I trained to be, ended up being a scout in the infantry. But I left on, I think it was, left my home in Rochester in 14 days. I was up in the front line and landed in Scotland, went over on the Queen Elizabeth, and went down through Scotland and England to Southampton, went over, landed in France, and went up through there, and was in Luxembourg, up in the Battle of Bulge, and went across the Black Forest and down through Frankfurt, Germany. We evacuated it. The funniest thing, these guys like it. They'd bombed the bridge off going across the Main into Frankfurt, and all they had was these, what they put the railroad I-beams on them, about a foot wide, and it was about 200 feet down to the water, and he was going across there with full pack, and they was shooting at you from one side, and the people was coming, trying to get out, and you try to pass each other on one of those little beams. But it was, I spent my 19th birthday in Frankfurt. We got a 4 or 5 day rest period there, and family had a birthday party for me. But I ended up down in the corner of Czechoslovakia and Austria and Germany. While I was down there for a month, my brother was in the service. He was with the 42 Infantry, and he and his friend come up to see me. And I hadn't seen him for 4 years. And they come up, and the CO told me to take a couple days off. He says, "Do you think you can catch us? Because we's moving out before we get back to France." And I got a little motorcycle over there and chased him, run him down, finally joined up with him. But it was something to run into him up there, because I didn't know he was coming either. Mm-hmm. And it was real interesting.
What are your emotions when you see this monument built to your generation?
Oh, it's amazing, really. It's more than I expected, really. I'm anxious to see where the soldiers got killed over there and everything. I got several friends that were killed in World War II, and they got them, the names of them up here somewhere, all around the place. But they're hard to find, they told me. But it's quite a deal.